Long ago, in a remote valley, surrounded by high mountains and endless meadows, there lived a young woman named Leila. She was no older than 20 summers, with eyes the color of dark olives and hair that shimmered like black silk. Unlike the other villagers, who spent their days tending the fields or caring for their flocks, Leila had a heart that yearned for something unseen. Ever since she was a little girl, she had felt an invisible presence in the breeze. When the wind rushed across the hills, she would close her eyes and imagine it was whispering secrets only she could hear. Some called her foolish. Others said she had been cursed by the mountain spirits. But Leila didn't mind. She felt that the wind was her true companion. Every evening, just before the last rays of sunlight disappeared behind the cliffs, Leila climbed the tallest hill near her village. She would sit beneath an ancient olive tree whose roots clung to the stones as if afraid to let go. There, she would speak aloud, telling the wind all that weighed on her heart. "I wish I could understand you," she would murmur. "I wish I knew where you go when you leave me." One night, when the moon was high and round as a silver coin, the wind arrived in a way she had never felt before. It circled her like a warm breath, not cold and wild as it often was, but soft, as if it had hands made of air. Then she heard a voice, clear and gentle, yet echoing all around. "You have called to me for many years," the voice said. "You have trusted me with your joys and your sorrows. You are the first of your people to see me, not as a force to be feared, but as a friend." Leila pressed her palm to her chest. Though she had always believed the wind could hear her, she had never expected it to answer. "Are you the spirit of the wind?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I am," the voice replied. "I am older than these mountains, older than the trees that grow upon them. I have carried the seeds of life and the whispers of farewell, and tonight I have come to grant you a single wish." Leila's thoughts whirled faster than the breeze itself. She could wish for riches to help her village. She could wish for endless youth or beauty. But her heart knew only one true longing. "I wish," she said softly, "to understand all the languages of nature, to hear the song of the birds, the stories of the rivers, and the sighs of the trees." The spirit of the wind was silent for a moment, as if considering her words. Then it spoke again, with a note of admiration. "You have chosen wisely. For many would ask for gold or power, but you have asked for understanding. This wish shall be yours." Suddenly, the air thickened around her. It felt as though she were standing at the center of 1,000 swirling currents. The wind lifted her hair and caressed her face, and in that instant, she felt something in her heart open a hidden door, swinging wide. When the air grew calm again, she realized that everything was different. The leaves of the olive tree above her were whispering in a language she had never known, yet somehow understood. "We are older than you can imagine," the leaves sighed. "We have seen countless generations come and go." In the distance, the stream that wound through the valley began to hum a melody, telling her of its journey from the snow-capped peaks to the fields below. Even the smallest beetle crawling over her hand had a voice, a tiny, curious thought that reached her mind. Leila spent the rest of the night listening. She learned that the stars spoke in pulses of light, and the grass dreamed of the sun. She heard the clouds gossiping about the mountains, and the stones telling tales of the earth's deep past. But as dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and rose, she also heard something else. The trees wept for the axes that cut them down. The rivers grieved, the poison spilled into their waters. The birds worried about the shrinking forests where they nested. Leila realized that understanding nature meant feeling all its pain as well as its beauty. When she returned to the village the next morning, she was changed. Her neighbors noticed the faraway look in her eyes, the way she would pause to listen to something no one else could hear. Days turned into weeks. Each evening, she would walk among the fields and the woods, speaking softly to the world around her. she began to share what she learned, teaching the villagers how to care for the land and honor the lives of the creatures who shared it. At first, the people were skeptical, but soon they saw how the trees flourished, how the harvests grew richer, how the animals grew less afraid, and so they began to listen to. One night, many seasons after the spirit had granted her wish, Leila climbed the hill once more. The wind greeted her, playful and warm. "You have used your gift well," the spirit said. "You have reminded your people that they are not alone on this earth." "I have tried," she answered. "But there is still so much to do, so much pain to heal." The wind caressed her cheek, as if in comfort. "That is the way of things," it whispered. "Every heart carries both light and shadow. But if even one person dares to listen, the world can begin to change." Leila closed her eyes and smiled, feeling gratitude deeper than words could express. From that night on, she was known as the keeper of the voices, a woman who could hear the hidden music of creation itself. And whenever the wind rustled through the valley, the villagers would look up and remember that everything, every tree, every stone, every breath was alive with its own story, and perhaps, if they were very quiet, they too could hear the spirit of the wind calling their names. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We share magical tales and inspiring adventures every single week, so you'll never run out of stories to spark your imagination. Click subscribe now and join our community of dreamers and storytellers.